Hey, what's up guys? George here. I just wanted to do a quick video just to answer a couple of questions that somebody had emailed me. I figured it would be easier just to make a video real quick and send it rather than type all this out in an email. So question number one, how long did it take for the golf ball sized lumps to get smaller and then stop coming back? It took me a good probably 4 years or so of trial and error on trying to figure out what things to do to get the hernia to even for me to be able to hold the hernia in or for it to stay in at all. For a long time, for a couple of years, it was the size of 2 golf balls, and it would come out as soon as I got out of bed in the morning, and I couldn't get it to stay in no matter what unless I had a hernia belt on or I was holding it with my hand. And it took probably about 4 years until I started, by trial and error, just trying to figure out what was causing the hernia, the root causes. And once I figured out those root causes and put a plan into place to fix those root causes, then I was able to make quick progress, within 6 months. I was able to get the hernia to go from that size to being completely flat. So yeah, so it was a while of trial and error, but once I figured things out, it happened really fast. Number 2, what's your take on lessening your exercise regimen since you got your hernia? For me, that wasn't an option. I wasn't ready to or willing to lessen my exercise or give up things that I loved. I didn't want to act like I was handicapped because of the hernia. If I would have had to have done that, then I probably would have just gotten surgery, even though I really didn't want to. It was more important to me to be able to stay active. And the only reason why I was able to do that was because I designed the Comfort Truss, which is the hernia belt that I wore during this whole time of trying to heal my hernia naturally, to be able to keep doing the things that I love to do. Because once I put it on, I was 100% confident that I didn't have to worry about the hernia popping out at all. So it gave me confidence to do everything that I wanted to do. I'm not saying that's going to be like that for everybody. It's not going to work for everybody like it did for me, but I think it's important for you to find one that does work like that for you, something that gives you that kind of confidence. And if you can't, then I could see lessening your exercise and, doing whatever you have to do, in order to not end up with an emergency situation or something like that. Number 3, how long has it been since the lump came back and what was the size then? The lump hasn't come back. So it's been flat since I got it to go away after those 4.5 years or whatever it took me to get to that point. It hasn't come back. Do you feel or believe your hernia is healed? I really don't know the answer to that question. I haven't went and got a scan or anything like that to tell me that I'm healed. And I really don't really care if I am technically 100% healed or not, because I'm able to live my life as if I don't have a hernia. So that's all I really care about. That's what I set out in the beginning to do, was to get to a point where I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about the hernia, and that's where I'm at. So I really don't know the answer to that. Do you think that jogging is okay with a hernia? Like I said before, for me, I do runs on the beach, things like that. I wasn't willing to give that up. So because I was able to, when my hernia was bad, because I had the Comfort Truss, which enabled me to be able to do that without having to worry about the hernia, I didn't have to worry about it. If you don't have that, if you don't have a good way to hold it in where you're, when you're jogging, you're feeling pressure, the hernia is popping out and it's on your mind all the time, then yeah, I think it's probably not the best thing for a hernia that's not being held in really well. Because every step that you take, every time you bounce off the ground with your feet, you're just hammering your intestines down into that weakness in the hole in your abdomen, where the weakness is, where the hernia is pushing out from. So all those steps, especially, if you're doing a couple of miles, it's a lot of steps, it's a lot of bouncing, and it's a lot of pressure getting pushed right down into that hole, because all that internal pressure is going to follow the path of least resistance. So it's going to really be pushing on that place where the weakness is. So yeah, so that's my answer for that. And that's pretty much it. So hope you guys got something out of that. Hopefully, Roy, this helps you. And if you guys got any questions, hit me up in the comments, and look for the next video. Take it easy.